Okay, I went into the classroom today and it was kind of sad because nobody's at the desk. Looked at all your book boxes, but these, it is sad. But at the same time, we kind of have to make the best of it, you know? We're in this together and we have to stay safe and healthy. And so, what did I do? I grabbed some books, but some of my favorite books. And I thought maybe I could read to you because I love to read aloud to you. And some of the books I chose are just things I thought would lift your spirits. One of them is called Weslandia, and that's by Fleischman. And at the end of the book, I'll tell you why I chose this one. But here you go. Of course he's miserable, moaned Wesley's mother. He sticks out like a nose, snapped his father. Listening through the heating vent, Wesley knew they were right. He was an outcast from the civilization around him. Outcast means he didn't really fit in. He alone in his town disliked pizza and soda, alarming his mother and school nurse. He found professional football stupid. He refused to shave half his head, the hairstyle worn by all of the other boys, despite his father's bribe of $5. Passing his neighborhood's two styles of housing, garage on the left and garage on the right, Wesley alone dreamed of more exciting forms of shelter. He had no friends, but plenty of tormentors. Fleeing them was the only sport he was very good at. Each afternoon, his mother asked him what he'd learned in school that day. That seeds are carried great distances by the wind, he answered on Wednesday. That each civilization has its staple food crop, he answered on Thursday. That school's over and I should find a good summer project, he answered on Friday. As always, his father mumbled, I'm sure you'll use that knowledge often. Suddenly, Wesley's thoughts shot sparks. His eyes blazed. His father was right. He could actually use what he'd learned that week for a summer project that would top all others. He would grow his own staple food crop and found his own civilization. The next morning, he turned over a plot of ground in his yard. That night, a wind blew in from the west. It raced through the trees and set his curtains snapping. Wesley lay awake, listening. His land was being planted. 5 days later, the first seedlings appeared. You'll have almighty bedlam on your hands if you don't get those weeds out, warned the neighbor. Actually, that's my crop, replied Wesley. In this type of garden, there are no weeds. Following ancient tradition, Wesley's fellow gardeners grew tomatoes, beans, Brussels sprouts, and nothing else. Wesley found it thrilling to open his land to chance to invite the new and the unknown. The plants shot up past his knees, then his waist. They seemed to be all of the same sort. Wesley couldn't find them in any plant book. Are those tomatoes, beans, or Brussels sprouts? Asked Wesley's neighbor. None of the above, replied Wesley. Fruit appeared yellow at first, then blushing to magenta. Wesley picked one and sliced through the rind to the juicy purple center. He took a bite and found the taste an entrancing blend of peach, strawberry, pumpkin pie, and flavors he had no name for. Ignoring the shelf of cereals in the kitchen, Wesley took to breakfasting on the fruit. He dried half a rind to serve as a cup, but his own squeezing device, and drank the fruit's juice throughout the day. Pulling up a plant, he found large tubers on the roots. These he boiled, fried, or roasted on the family barbecue, seasoning them with a pinch of the plant's highly aromatic leaves. It was hot work tending to his crop. To keep off the sun, Wesley wove himself a hat. To keep the sun off, Wesley wove himself a hat from the strips of the plants and woody bark. His success with the hat inspired him to devise a spinning wheel and loom on which he wove a loose-fitting robe from the stalk's soft inner fibers. That loom. Who's peeking behind there? Unlike jeans, which he found scratchy and heavy, the robe was comfortable, reflected the sun, and offered myriad opportunities for pockets. His schoolmates were scornful, then curious. Grudgingly, meaning they didn't like it, Wesley allowed them 10 minutes apiece at his mortar, crushing the plant seeds to collect the oil. The oil had a tangy scent and served him both as suntan lotion and mosquito repellent. He rubbed it on his face each morning and sold small amounts to his former, meaning they used to be, tormentors at the price of $10 per bottle. What's happened to your watch? Asked his mother one day. Wesley admitted that he no longer wore it. He told time by the stock that he had used as a sundial and had divided the day into 8 segments, the number of petals on the plant's flowers. Remember making our sundial? He'd adopted a new counting system as well, based likewise upon the number 8. His domain, home to many such innovations, he named Weslandia. Uninterested in traditional sports, Wesley made up his own. These were designed for a single player and used many different parts of the plant. The spectators looked on with envy. Realizing that more players would offer him more scope, Wesley invented other games that would include his schoolmates. Games rich with strategy and complex scoring systems. He tried to be patient with the other players' blunders or mistakes. August was unusually hot. Wesley built himself a platform and took sleeping in the middle of Weslandia. He passed the evenings playing a flute he fashioned from a stalk or gazing up at the sky, renaming the constellations. His parents noted Wesley's improved morale. He felt better about himself. "It's the first time in years he's looked happy," said his mother. Wesley gave them a tour of Weslandia. "What do you call that plant?" asked his father. Not knowing its name, Wesley had begun calling it Swist, from the sound of its leaves rustling in the breeze. In like manner, he'd named his new fabrics, games, and foods until he created an entire language. Mixing the plant's oil with soot, which means the stuff that you burn wood from, the ash. Wesley made a passable ink for a pen. As the finale to his summer project, he used the ink and his own 80-letter alphabet to record the history of his civilization's founding. In September, Wesley returned to school. Here he is. He had no shortage of friends. It's not great. He made a trend. So while you're home, wouldn't it be cool to build a fort or make up some kind of food, do some cooking, learn some sewing like Wesley did, create your own alphabet, make your own stories? That would be exciting indeed. That would be neat. Okay, I just wanted to share Weslandia with you. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon.